quarterfinals would be 3 sets of 14 boards each, and the opponents of the Chagas team were a strong Brazilian team. And so let's look at the hands. And as we will follow the methods of the other videos, meaning that we'll look only at swings. But there's only 4 swings in this first set, meaning that it was probably a well played set. And perhaps we'll miss some interesting boards along these pushed boards here. But no matter, if any of them feels that there's a board that should be subject to special commentary, I will do it later. But right now, let's look at the swings. The first one, 3-note trumps made 11 tricks at one table and only 8 at the other. Let's look at it. It's not, this is the wrong board. Here we are. 1 heart from north, natural 5-card major beating. East passed. Some players would double with that, but I don't think it's mandatory. I think it's at best optional and perhaps even bad. And as the cards are, probably wouldn't make any difference for the final result. 1 heart, 1 spade, 1 no trump. Everything quite natural so far. 2 diamonds, some kind of game forcing relay. They probably play 2-way check back statement even after 1 heart, 1 spade, 1 no trumps, meaning that 2 clubs starts all the invitations and 2 diamonds is other game forcing bits. And perhaps they were not very sure of what 3 diamonds, which is the natural bid with this hand, would be. But no harm done, since 3 no trumps appears to be the natural resting place of this hand. Nobody has a fit, and there's power to play in 3 no trumps. So, played from north. The lead was the 10 of clubs, a good lead for the defense, already starting to establish its tricks. However, West doesn't have entries to push a second club. So it's hard to see how West will ever play a second club. And so the Declarer now is in the running to make 1 club. There's this communication problem, of course, but he has ready 1 club, 3 diamonds, 3 hearts are 7, and he can easily establish 1 spade, which is 8. So 8 is the minimum that he can make. He played the spade to the king, ducked. Ten of diamonds covered. So this is defending very well here by preventing a clear entry to dummy and by blocking the diamond suit, because North could and probably would have let this 10 run. And now what the Declarer should do at this point to win the hand is cash 3 hearts and lead a spade. Okay. But when he pitched this spade, I think he sealed his doom, because now he'll either lead a heart or a club, and the opponents have all the tricks. So well done to East. It was a very nice duck of the spade, and it misled the Declarer. And also by covering the 10 of diamond with the jack. None of them are obvious plays, but both were very efficient. At the other table, 1 heart. Oh, I forgot to. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. 1 heart, 1 spade, which is. So that was an interesting auction, because 1 heart Pass one spade in their system is not natural. That's what this alert means. They are playing that Brazilian spade that was not played at the other table because it was a Brazilian and Portuguese pair. But most Brazilian partnerships invert the meaning of one spade and one no trumps. And so one heart, one no trump would be the right bid with his hand showing at least five spades. One heart, one spade is a limited bid showing at most four spades. So not after South forgot about his own agreements and alerted it to the opponents, alerted that he had forgotten them. He was in a bit of a quandary and couldn't do much better than to jump to three no trumps at some point. Two clubs is ambiguous, can have clubs or spades, and so South smiled and said, well, perhaps he has four spades and I can save this deal yet. Two diamonds asks, two hearts means I have clubs, hearts and clubs, and so three no trumps became the final, the only possible choice from South that would not be weak and not forcing. So it was played from the other side, and this would, if everybody could see the cards, it would be better for East West because now a low club lead to the nine would still keep communications. But West led the seven of hearts, which is probably from his viewpoint the safest lead. Clara would hardly let it run to the nine, and he didn't. And now the ten of diamonds covered by the jack, but now the ace of clubs is still there as an entry. So he did his best to prevent the running of the diamonds, but no avail because the ace of clubs was still present in South's hand, and so South has already four diamonds, three hearts, one club is eight, and an easily establishable spade. He thought he had an easy game now by cashing the hearts, but he can still lose if the ace of spades were with the long hearts, three hearts and one spade. East blocked that spade suit, but the Clara will still make. And now the defense was left with a losing spade here, so didn't cost imps, probably. Yeah, it did cost one imp, making the second over trick cost one imp to East West, because 430 and 50 would have been 10 imps, but for 60 and 50 is 11 imps. So the fact that this saved this spade to give up to declare cost one imp. It's a very tiny issue, the larger issue of not driving out the ace of clubs in the first trick. Interesting board nonetheless. The second swing board, East West went to six clubs in one table and stopped in four hearts at the other. Let's see what this is about. So here we see pass, and East opens not natural, but common two clubs forcing opening bid. South preempted in three spades. West bid naturally three no trumps, four clubs. This is a very natural rubber bridge like auction and successful. Two clubs, three spades, three no trumps, suggesting to play. Four clubs, I have clubs. Five clubs, I have support. Six clubs, well, if you have some points in support, let's play six clubs. And six clubs has a heart problem, as we can see. But there's no long run problem because the ace of spades can be roughed out to discard that fourth heart. So the player can draw trumps, lose a diamond, rough two diamonds, rough some spades in the meantime, and when the ace of spades appears, he will have a discard. If the ace of spades did not appear, if it were in South and they let a trump, which is probably the worst defense from the declarer's viewpoint, what would be the best play? Well, probably trying to play a diamond to the king, not successfully in this case, then roughing a few diamonds and spades and seeing if he can either figure out what to do with the hearts or perhaps get some squeeze at the end. So that was a very successful bidding. At the other table, let's see what happened. One club, which is not a forcing bid, and then three spades. So that the main reason for this swing was the different evaluation from East in both tables. So Diego here in East didn't judge his hand to be worth of forcing two clubs, perhaps because of rebid problems. It would not be easy to describe this hand. It's lots of features. And at the other table, East decided to brush aside those concerns and bid it as though he had a game forcing hand. And after all, he has only, if you're counting classical losers, he has only two losers in diamonds and one in hearts. And so it's not a completely offbeat evaluation. Both players have their points here, but the imps went to Horacio and Proto at the other table. And for hearts, it's not very. This lead basically ensured that North South would get both the ace of diamonds and a trump trick. Okay. So on board 12, the third swing of this match appeared. One table stopped in three spades, making three, while the other went to four spades. And it's not common to see our very forward bidders, Diego and Miguel, being the position of those who did not bid game. So let's see what happened here. What happened here was that East-West were pushed to game by South, who bid four clubs. So one club is 2 plus, meaning what? Let me translate what this 2 plus means. Both at the other table, at the other hand that we just saw from Diego, and here. What it means is this: many partnerships are playing a system in which balanced hands in range, meaning not in range for a no trump opening, open one club. And so one diamond is unbalanced, either a three suitor or 5 plus diamonds. This is one possibility of this 2 plus being. The other possibility that I suspect is what is going on with these guys, because they are old-fashioned bidders, is that they agreed to play one diamond. The one diamond opening is showing 4 plus. And so with this specific distribution, 4-4 in the majors, 3 diamonds and 2 clubs, is the only distribution that can bid one club, open one club. So if they had, for instance, 4 diamonds, take one away, one of the majors, and put it in diamonds, then this would have been a 1 diamond opening bid for them because it promises 4. And at the other table, at the other hand, not at the other table, at the other hand, in which Diego opened one club and alerted 2 plus, I suspect that they are playing what I just described, meaning if he had 4-3, 4-2, he would still open one club even though he had 4 diamonds, because one club shows the balanced hands in range, independent of relative minor shoot lengths. And so one club pass one spade, 4 clubs. Vulnerable versus not. It was a very good bid because it pushed them to a game that they would not make. Let's see how the bidding went at the other table, but 4 spades obviously has no chance because they had three aces to lose, but plus some roughs. There you go, two roughs. And defending against four spades, it's much easier to get those roughs than against any other contract, any other level. Let's see what happened. Diego's table. So one club, two plus, and I suspect, I cannot vouch for it, but I suspect that this is any balanced hand can have even four diamonds, and some styles even five diamonds if it is a 3-3-5-2 hand, or five diamonds 3-3-2 any double tone. But it is not just in this case for 4-3-2 that they open with two clubs, many others as well. So one club passes one heart, which is a transfer to spades, yeah. And now South bid only three clubs, making it easier for both West to raise. This cannot not raise even over four clubs. After all, you have ace, king, queen, 10 of partner suits you have to raise. But you're more comfortable raising only to three with your 15 high card points not well distributed. The queen of clubs is a doubtful value. And three spades is a much. I'm sure that if Proto at the other table could have bid only three spades, he would. But the main reason for the swing so far, because three spades can go down, as you just saw, but so far has been the difference in the evaluation of the South players. South here being more timid. But let's see why. How is the defense? Three spades from the other side. So the club lead was marked. Ace of clubs. The jack of clubs. The jack of clubs is asking for a heart return. Let's see what is. Now the ace of diamonds, I can foresee what's going on here. What will happen? North, by cashing the ace of diamonds, will not be sure that South roughs, because the queen of diamonds is the correct card, even if South has queen or queen jack tight or queen jack low. So he'll switch. There you go. So if he had switched to the heart, one trick before cashing the ace of diamonds to the four of hearts, because a high heart, that's the highest he thinks he can afford. A high heart denies interest in continuation of this suit. So the best defense would have been the four of hearts before cashing the ace of diamonds, which would allow South to win and lead the queen of diamonds himself, and so North now would have no problems in playing the ace of diamonds in another diamond. But as the defense went, now there's no diamond rough to cash in. They are trying to still establish one trump trick, but Declarer has two good trumps for this to be successful. And the hand is over. And so for the final swing in a very short video, four hearts by North and five spades by West. The sacrifice not doubled. So let's see. Very uneventful bidding here. One heart pass by East. This, I think, it's too shy, too timid a pass. But perhaps, as I said, these guys are old-fashioned players. Perhaps they don't play three clubs to be a weak bid. It's possible. And so if that is the case, then if that is the case, if East does not have a weak three club bid at his disposal, either because it is strong over call or because it is something else, some two suitor, then it becomes more understandable to this pass. But it's still very much against the grain. to pass. And I think even if I by chance agreed with a partner, let's say, to play one heart, three clubs as a two-shooter. Some people do that. Even if I did that and the bidding went one heart, pass, four hearts, pass, pass, I would not be able to sleep if I didn't bid five clubs. So I think that one must be the reason for the swing must be placed in this decision of East to pass here. South bid a very heavy four hearts. Could have made slam rather easily. All that they needed was two aces. Consider if the ace of diamonds were the ace of spades, ace queen third, ace six, jack second, queen second. You have a lay down slam. So, but it was very successful in this occasion because it blew the opponent off the auction. And probably the lead was a club or a diamond. It's the same. The Declare was able to pitch all the spades in the diamonds and make 7. And at the other table, for sure, East would not pass over one heart. And having bid clubs, East-West would never allow them to play 4 hearts. 2 clubs, 4 clubs, which is a splinter bid. Double by West showing club support, but not a hand that is willing to bid 5 clubs. I'm not sure that this is the right evaluation here. Perhaps this hand should bid 4 spades or 5 clubs. But the fact is, he doesn't know that the opponent's heart fit is so big that partner has a void. But he can't count on a 10 card fit in this auction, most likely. So 9 card fits would be very rare. So I think Miguel was a bit too shy here to only double. Pass by North, probably meaning either a weak hand. They have to agree whether 4 hearts is weaker than pass in this position. I think it's not, and I think North was bidding as if it were not, because he wanted 4 clubs is a strong auction, remember, and so he's wanted to give room for any Q bids from partner, which means that doesn't have a hopeless hand. So he's bid 5 clubs to block them up a little bit more, since he knows that partner has support and he has a void. And South bid 5 diamonds, which is a Q bid, clearly. And so they are inviting slam, and then the auction died a sudden death when West on the way to 6 clubs as a sacrifice over 5 hearts, bid 5 spades to indicate the best lead. That was surely his concern, to show something more of his hand to help his partner lead. But all passed. So this was clearly a misunderstanding on North-South about forcing passes, because they were inviting slam, but they cannot allow the opponents to bid 5 spades and double. And it is perhaps not very fruitful for us to speculate on what was the nature of the misunderstanding that took place here. It probably involves the interpretation of this first pass by North as being either a minimum hand or a better than minimum hand. I suspect that North thought he was showing a better than minimum, that 4 hearts would be the minimum, while South thought that pass was the weakest possible hand. But the main point is, you should have firm agreements with your partner and discussions with hands like this, so that you can settle on general principles, such as the one that I'm just talking about, whether a pass or a return to your suit is the weakest possible auction in situations like this, where a Q bid is doubled or a splinter is doubled. And that was it for this video. Thanks for watching, and visit www.thebridgeexperts.com for more information and stuff about both this online festival and lots of other bridge related stuff. Thanks for watching.